Hello, I'm Douglas Gresham, your host for Focus on the Family Radio Theatre. I'm sure you can imagine the scene. A small boy tucked away in his playroom on a rainy afternoon, creating an intricate world of fantasy with stories about a mythological kingdom called Boxen that had talking animals and chivalrous knights. We often take children's imaginative adventures for granted. We may even consider them silly or childish. But for Clive Staples Lewis, or Jack as he insisted on being called at the age of 4, those days of playful fantasy were very important. They would in fact become the basis of stories he would write years later while he was a teacher at Oxford University. We know them, of course, as the Chronicles of Narnia. One need only read the various books, diaries and letters of Jack's life to see how his childhood in Belfast, Ireland in the early part of the 20th century influenced The Magician's Nephew, the story you're about to hear. The wonder and secrets found in an attic, a young boy trying to cope with the terrible illness of his mother, and an escape into a newly created world. These are things that the young Jack Lewis knew personally. And so did I, for like Jack, I lost my own mother when I was young. Her name was Joy Gresham, and she was the wife of Jack Lewis. I remember well living in Jack's house in Oxford while he was writing The Magician's Nephew, how he would often bring down from his study whatever chapter he'd just finished writing, and the chats we'd have about it. For me, it was always a delight, because I loved the Narnian stories, even before I'd ever met their author. The Magician's Nephew was originally published in 1955. Though it was the 6th book of the 7 to be written, it is really the first book of the world of Narnia. Here Jack Lewis explores not only themes of creation, beauty and hope, but of corruption, betrayal, and ultimately forgiveness. So if you're tempted to think that these stories are for children only, then you're sadly mistaken. Jack observed that as an adult, he enjoyed so-called children's stories better than he did as a child. He said he was able to put more into them, and as a result, he got more out of them. Join us now as Focus on the Family Radio Theatre proudly presents The Magician's Nephew.
This is a story about something that happened long ago when your grandfather was a child. It's a very important story because it shows how all the comings and goings between our own world and a land called Narnia first began. In those days, Mr. Sherlock Holmes was still living in Baker Street, and if you were a boy in school, you had to wear a stiff collar every day. Schools were usually nastier than now, you see. But meals were nicer, and as for sweets, I won't tell you how cheap and good they were because it would only make your mouth water in vain. And in those days, there lived in London a girl called Polly Plummer. She lived in one of a long row of houses which were all joined together. One morning, she was out in the back garden when a boy scrambled up from the garden next door and put his face over the wall. Polly was very surprised. She looked up full of curiosity. The face of the strange boy was very grubby. It could hardly have been grubbier if he'd first rubbed his hands in the earth and then had a good cry and then dried his face with his hands. As a matter of fact, this was very nearly what he had been doing.
Hello. What's your name?
Polly. What's yours?
Diggory.
I say, that's a funny name.
It isn't half so funny as Polly.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
At least I wash my face, which is what you need to do, especially since you've been...
Go on, say it.
I didn't mean that...
Since I've been blubbing. That's what you were going to say. Well, it's true. I don't care who knows it.
Oh.
You'd cry too if you'd lived all your life in the country and had a pony and a river at the bottom of the garden and then been brought to live in a beastly hole like this. And if your father was away in India and you'd had to come and live with an aunt and an uncle who's mad, and if the reason was that they were looking after your mother and your mother was ill and was going to die.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. Until you peeked over the wall, I didn't know anyone lived with Miss Kettley and Mr. Kettley. I thought they were... What I mean to say is...
You thought they were an old bachelor and an old maid. That's because they are. It's an old house with old things, and nobody younger than they are should live in it.
Is your uncle really mad?
Either he's mad, or there's something else going on.
What makes you say that?
He has a study up in the attic, and Aunt Letty says I must never go up there.
Grown-ups always have rooms they won't let children into.
Yes, but last night I was going past the foot of the attic stairs on my way to bed, and I heard a terrible yell.
Honestly, perhaps he keeps a mad wife shut up there.
I've thought of that.
Or perhaps he makes counterfeit money.
Or he might have been a pirate.
Like the man at the beginning of Treasure Island.
Right, the one who was hiding from his shipmates.
Oh, I say, how exciting. I never knew your house was so interesting.
You may think it's interesting, but you wouldn't like it if you had to live there.
Would you like to visit my house sometimes? All my friends are away on holiday for the summer, and it's been so dreary.
Yes, I would like that.
Then come over, right now if you like.
All right. Would you mind if I washed my face first?
Not at all.
That was how Polly and Diggory got to know one another. And as it was just the beginning of the summer holidays and neither of them was going away, they met nearly every day. Unfortunately, the summer also turned out to be one of the wettest and coldest there had been for years. That drove them to do indoor things. It's wonderful how much exploring you can do with a stump of candle in a big house or in a row of houses. Polly already had been exploring even before she met Diggory, and one rainy day she decided to show him what she had found.
Come on then.
I do wish you'd tell me what your secret is.
You'll see for yourself in a minute. It's in here.
This is your attic. I've seen your attic before.
But you haven't seen this. Behind here.
What is it? A door to a cupboard?
It leads to my secret room. Come in. Mind your head. Just squeeze past the water tank. Now, you have to step on the boards I put down. Otherwise, you'll fall through the rafters to the room below.
Where's the light coming from?
Between the slates of the roof. That's why it slopes. Don't you see? We're in the eaves of the house. I call it my smuggler's cave. I brought up all these packing cases and chairs myself. Then I put these bottles of ginger beer all around so it looks more like a pirate's den.
What's this?
It's my cash box, where I keep my treasures.
It's a good cave, Polly. But how long does this tunnel go on for? I mean, does it stop where your house ends?
No, it goes on. I don't know how far, though.
Then we could go the length of the whole row of houses.
So we could. Oh, I say!
What?
We could get into the other houses.
Yes, and get taken up for burglars. No thanks.
Don't be so jolly clever. I was thinking of the house beyond yours.
What about it?
It's the empty one. My daddy says it's always been empty since we came here. I think it might be haunted.
Oh. Well, I suppose we ought to have a look at it then.
All right.
Don't, if you'd rather not.
I'm game if you are.
Oh. But how are we to know when we've reached the empty house?
I suppose we could count the rafters along the length of my house. And since all the houses are the same width, we'll know how many rafters it takes to go past your house. And then we'll reach the empty one.
Good idea.
And so they did. They measured the attic of Polly's house, then had to get a pencil and do a sum.
Right.
They both got different answers to it at first, and even when they agreed, I'm not sure they got it right. They were in a hurry to start on the exploration.
Okay, let's start again.
Though they had little chinks of light coming through the slates of the roof, they each took a candle because it was such an important occasion.
16 left.
Then they carefully made their way down the tunnel, counting as they stepped from rafter to rafter.
25.
I don't believe the house is really empty at all.
26. Don't you? 28.
I expect someone lives there in secret,
29.
only coming in and out at night with a dark lantern.
31.
We shall probably discover a gang of desperate criminals and get a reward. Oh, it's all rot to say a house would be empty all those years, unless there was some mystery.
Daddy thought it must be the drains.
Oh, pooh. Grown-ups are always thinking of uninteresting explanations.
Oh no, I've lost count. I think we're opposite your house now.
Are you sure? Oh, we must have gone further than my house by now.
Diggory, look! Is that a door?
Let's have a look. I've never never seen a door like this in ours. It must be a door to the attic of the empty house. Shall I open it?
I'm game if you are.
There's no handle or bolt. Hold your candle up so I can see.
There's a latch near the top.
Well spotted. It's stuck. Wait.
The door swung open, and the sudden daylight made them blink. Then, with a great shock, they saw they were looking not into a deserted attic, but into a furnished room. But it seemed empty enough. The room was so quiet that you noticed the ticking of the clock at once. Polly's curiosity got the better of her. She blew out her candle and stepped into the strange room.
Polly, where are you going?
It's all right. There's no one here.
It was shaped, of course, like an attic, but furnished as a sitting room. Every bit of the walls was lined with shelves, and every bit of the shelves was full of books. A fire was burning in the grate, and in front of the fireplace, with its back towards them, was a high-backed armchair. Between the chair and Polly, and filling most of the middle of the room, was a big table piled with all sorts of things. Printed books, and books of the sort you write in, and ink bottles and pens and sealing wax, and a microscope. But what she noticed first was a bright red wooden tray with a number of rings on it. They were in pairs, a yellow one and a green one together, then a little space, and then another yellow one and another green one. They were no bigger than ordinary rings, and no one could help noticing them because they were so bright. They were the most beautifully shiny little things you can imagine.
Oh, this is no good. It's not an empty house at all. We'd better leg it before anyone comes.
Listen, Diggory. Do you hear that?
What?
Listen. That humming sound. I think it's coming from these rings.
Oh, come on. The sooner... Oh!
Diggory never finished what he was going to say, for at that moment the high-backed chair in front of the fire moved suddenly, and there rose up out of it, like a stage play demon coming up out of a trapdoor, the alarming form of a man. He was very tall and thin, with a long, clean-shaven face, a sharply pointed nose, and extremely bright eyes beneath a great tousled mop of grey hair.
Uncle Andrew!
Hello, my boy.
Oh, I don't think we went far enough, Diggory.
I think you went just the right distance. Splendid. There. Now my fool of a sister won't be able to interrupt us.
Run, Polly. Back through the rafters.
Oh, no! You just got here. Why leave me so soon? I'm delighted to see you. 2 children are just what I wanted.
Please, Mr. Kettley. It's nearly my dinner time and I've got to go home. Will you let us out, please?
Oh, not just yet. This is too good an opportunity to miss. You see, I'm in the middle of a great experiment. I've tried it on a guinea pig, and it seemed to work. But then a guinea pig can't tell you anything. And you can't explain to it how to come back.
Look here, Uncle Andrew. It really is dinner time, and they'll be looking for us in a moment. You must let us out.
Must? Oh, well, yes. If you really want to go, I suppose I should let you. I can't expect 2 youngsters like you to find it much fun talking to an old duffer like me. You've no idea how lonely I sometimes am. But no matter. Go on.
Well...
Oh, but I must give you a present before you go. It's not every day I see a little girl in my dingy old study, especially, if I may say so, such a very attractive young lady as yourself. Wouldn't you like one of those rings, my dear?
What? Do you mean one of those yellow or green ones?
Yes, though not a green one. Can't give them away just now, but I'd be delighted to give you any of the yellow ones. With my love. Come and try one on.
They are lovely.
Yes, they are.
Polly.
Listen! That humming noise is coming from the rings.
What a funny thought, my dear. There you go. Just try on that yellow one there.
Polly, don't be a fool! Don't touch them! But
It was too late. Immediately, without a flash or a noise or a warning of any sort, there was no Polly. It was so sudden and so horribly unlike anything that had ever happened to Diggory, even in a nightmare, that he did what any of us would have done under the circumstances.
And none of that. If you start making a noise, your mother will hear it. And you know what a fright might do to her. Understood?
understood.
That's better.
But she's gone, Uncle Andrew. She disappeared. Right in front of my eyes.
I know. It is a shock when you first see someone vanish. Why, it even gave me a turn when the guinea pig did it the other night.
Was that when you yelled?
Oh, you heard that, did you? I hope you haven't been spying on me.
No, I haven't. But what's happened to Polly?
Congratulate me, my dear boy. My experiment has succeeded. The little girl's gone. Vanished. Right out of the world.
What have you done to her?
Sent her to another place.
What do you mean?
Well, I'll tell you all about it. Have you ever heard of my godmother, old Mrs. LeFay?
Wasn't she a great aunt or something? My mother doesn't like to talk about her. Was there something wrong with her?
Well, it depends what you call wrong. People are so narrow-minded, that's why they shut her up.
In an asylum, you mean?
Oh, no, nothing of that sort. Only in prison.
Prison? What had she done?
Poor woman. She was very unwise. There were a good many different things. We needn't go into all of them now. She was always very kind to me.
But what's this have to do with Polly?
Well, a great deal. Right before she died, Mrs. LeFay gave me a box that she kept in a secret drawer. The moment I picked up the box, I could tell by the tingling in my fingers that I held something wonderful in my hands. Of course, her intention was for me to destroy the box unopened. I promised her so she would allow me to keep it, but that promise I would not keep.
That was jolly rotten of you.
Rotten? Oh, I see. Oh, you mean that people ought to keep their promises? Oh, very true. Most right and proper, I'm sure. But you must understand that rules of that sort, however excellent for most people in general, can't possibly be expected to apply to profound students and great thinkers and sages. No, Diggory, men like me are freed from common rules.
All that means is that you think you can do anything you like to get anything you want.
Well, to the small-minded, I suppose it looks that way.
Will you tell me about Polly or not?
Oh, how you do harp on that, as if that was what mattered. Like I'm attempting to tell you a remarkable story, and you go on about the girl. Listen, my boy, it took me years to discover the truth about that box. Was it Greek, or Babylonian, or Hittite, or Chinese? No, it was older than any of those nations. Do you know where it came from? The lost island of Atlantis.
What?
That means it's older than any of that Stone Age rubbish they dig up in Europe. It goes back to a time of great cities and palaces and temples and learned men who understood magic.
Magic?
Oh, I've studied it, you know. Magic. I've had some devilish experiences. That's what turned my hair grey. One doesn't become a magician easily. My health broke down in the end. But I got better. And by then I knew about the box, that it contained something that had been brought from another world when our world was just beginning. I don't mean another planet. I mean another world, another nature, another universe. Somewhere you could never reach even if you traveled the space of our universe forever. It's a world that could be reached only by magic. And the contents of that box held magic. The dust of another world. Can you imagine it? Oh, I didn't touch the dust. I was too clever for that. But from it, I was able to make the rings. The yellow ones will send any creature that touches them into the other world. And I expect the green ones will bring that creature back again. But how can I be certain? And how can I know what the other world was like? No matter how many guinea pigs I sent, they couldn't speak, even if they did somehow touch the green ring to come back. I needed someone to send who could go and then return to tell me what they'd experienced.
Well, why didn't you go yourself?
Me? Me? You must be mad. At my time of life, in my state of health, risk the shock and dangers of being flung into a different universe? Preposterous. Think what another world means. You might meet anything.
And I suppose you've sent Polly into it then?
Yes.
All I can say, even if you are my uncle, is that you've behaved like a coward.
Oh.
Sending a girl to a place you're too afraid to go to yourself.
Silence! I will not be talked to like that by a little dirty schoolboy. No great wisdom can be reached without sacrifice. This is my experiment. Supposing I got killed, what would become of my life's work?
Oh, do stop jawing. Are you going to bring Polly back?
Well, I can't bring her back. She needs a green ring to return, and she doesn't have one.
Then she can't get back. It's exactly the same as if you'd murdered her.
She can get back if someone else will go after her, wearing a yellow ring himself and taking 2 green rings, one to bring himself back and one to bring her back.
Oh, so that's your game.
Oh, I hope, Diggory, that you won't be a coward, considering your lecture to me on the subject. I should be very sorry to think that anyone of our family hadn't enough honour and chivalry to go to the aid of a lady in distress.
Oh, shut up! If you had any honour and all that, you'd be going yourself. But I know you won't. All right, I see I've got to go. But you are a beast. You'll pay for this in the end. Your sort always do.
I think it'd be better for you to worry about your friend than about my sort. If there are any dangers over there, well, it would be a pity to arrive a moment too late.
A lot you care. But I'm sick of all your talking. What have I got to do?
Right. Well, you'll notice I'm wearing a pair of gloves. That's because the rings only work if they're actually touching bare skin. You see, if you carry one in your pocket, nothing happens. But of course you have to be careful not to put your hand in your pocket and touch it by accident. The moment you touch a yellow ring, you vanish out of this world. When you're in the other place, I expect, though of course this hasn't been tested yet, but the moment you touch a green ring, you vanish out of that world and reappear in this. Now, take these 2 greens and drop them into your right-hand pocket. Remember very carefully which pocket the greens are in. G for green, R for right, G-R-Gr. You see, first 2 letters of green.
All right, I understand that much. What about the yellow ring?
Well, I would suggest you put that one on your finger so you won't lose it. Go on.
Wait a minute. What about my mother? Supposing she asks where I am.
The sooner you go, the sooner you'll be back.
But you don't really know whether I can get back.
Oh, very well, then. Just as you please. Go down and have your dinner. Leave the little girl to whatever dangers await her in the other world. Oh, perhaps before tea time you'd better drop in on Mrs. Plummer and explain that she'll never see her daughter again because you were afraid to put on a ring.
Honestly, don't I just wish I was big enough to punch your head?
Go on, Diggory. Another world awaits you.
All right.
Diggory picked up the ring. And he thought then, as he always thought afterwards too, that he couldn't decently have done it. Uncle Andrew and his study vanished instantly. Then for a moment, everything became muddled. The next thing Diggory knew was that there was a soft green light coming down on him from above and darkness below. He didn't seem to be standing on anything or sitting or lying. Nothing appeared to be touching him. He thought he was in water, or worse, underwater. This frightened him for a second, but almost at once he could feel that he was rushing upward. Then his head suddenly came out into the air and he found himself scrambling ashore, out onto a smooth, grassy ground at the edge of a pool. Strangely, as he rose to his feet, he noticed that he was neither dripping nor panting for breath, as anyone would expect after being underwater. His clothes were perfectly dry. He was standing at the edge of a small pool not more than 10 feet from side to side in a wood. But it was not the only pool. There were dozens of others, a pool every few yards, as far as his eyes could reach. The trees grew close together and were so leafy that he could get no glimpse of the sky. All the light was green light, a green daylight that was bright and warm. It was the quietest wood you can imagine. There were no birds, no insects, no animals, and no wind. You could almost feel the trees growing. It was, as Diggory would describe later, a rich place. Surprisingly, Diggory was not frightened. In fact, he'd half forgotten how he'd come there or what he was supposed to do. He felt as if he'd always been there. After Diggory had looked around for a long time, he noticed that there was a girl lying on her back at the foot of a tree a few yards away. Her eyes were nearly shut, but not quite, as if she were between sleeping and waking. So he looked at her for a long time and said nothing. And at last she opened her eyes and looked at him.
I think I've seen you before.
I rather think so too. Have you been here long?
Oh, always. At least, I don't know. A very long time.
So have I.
No, you haven't. I've just seen you come up out of that pool.
Yes. I suppose I did. I'd forgotten.
Look here. I wonder. Have we met before? I have an idea, a sort of picture in my head, of a boy and a girl like us, living somewhere else, and doing all sorts of things. Perhaps it was only a dream.
I've had the same dream, I think. Oh. Hello. What's that?
It's a guinea pig.
Odd. It has a yellow ring tied to it.
Just like the one you're wearing on your finger.
Oh. And you have one on your finger as well. Wait. Something is coming to me.
Yes. Uncle Andrew! I remember now. He was beastly and tricked me.
He tricked me as well. That's why I'm here. To take you back.
Is that it then? Do we take the guinea pig and go home? No. You might as well leave the guinea pig. It's perfectly happy here, and your uncle will only do something horrid to it if we take it home.
Oh, it's very nice here, you know. There's no hurry.
Stop it, Diggory. We've got to get back. Do you know how?
Well, I suppose we should take off the yellow rings, since they were the way in.
Done.
And now, we put on these green rings.
Right. And then what?
We go back into that pool, I expect.
But we haven't any bathing things.
We don't need them, remember? We didn't get wet on the way in.
Oh, I'd forgotten.
Ready to jump? On 3.
Right.
1, 2... Hang on.
What's the matter?
I've just had a really wonderful idea. What are all the other pools?
How do you mean?
If we can get back to our own world by jumping into this pool, mightn't we get somewhere else by jumping into one of the others? Supposing there was a world at the bottom of every pool.
I don't understand.
What if Uncle Andrew was wrong about this world? What if this isn't a world at all, but a place between the worlds? Like the tunnel in the rafters leading between our houses. And the pools are like the doorways into the houses.
The wood between the worlds. Sounds rather nice.
I think we can get out of this place into jolly well anywhere. We don't need to jump back into the same pool we came up by. Or not just yet. Come on, Polly. Which pool shall we try?
Look here, I'm not going to try any new pool till we've made sure we can get back by the old one. We're not even sure it'll work yet.
Yes, and get caught by Uncle Andrew and have our rings taken away before we've had any fun. No thanks.
Couldn't we just go part of the way down to our own pool, just to see if it works? And then if it does, we'll change rings and come up again before we're really back in your uncle's study.
Can we go part of the way down?
Well, it took a little time coming back up. I suppose it'll take a little time going back.
Then let's try it.
And so they did. They agreed that if they saw Uncle Andrew or his study, Polly would shout, "Change!" and they would put on the yellow rings. On 3, they jumped into the pool.
3.
At first, they saw bright lights moving in a black sky. Then they saw the roofs and chimney pots of London. Then the walls of all the houses. Then Uncle Andrew, very vague and shadowy, but getting clearer and more solid looking all the time, just as if he were coming into focus. But before he became quite real, Polly shouted,
Change!
and they did change, our world fading away like a dream. Back in the wood between the worlds, they cleverly remembered to put a marker next to the pool through which they'd come, because they all looked the same, and then ventured to some of the other pools. After some discussion on which one they should try, they put on their yellow rings, counted to 3, then jumped into the pool. Nothing happened. They got their feet wet. After further discussion and debate, they realized that perhaps the yellow rings were only good for getting someone into the wood between the worlds, and the green rings got them out of it again. With their green rings on their fingers, they counted again and jumped into the pool. There was no doubt about the man.
What a strange place.
Oh, I don't like it.
What Diggory and Polly noticed first was the light. It wasn't like sunlight or any other light they'd ever seen. It was a dull, rather red light, not at all cheerful. It was steady and did not flicker. They were standing on a flat, paved surface, and buildings rose all around them. There was no roof overhead. They were in a sort of courtyard. The sky was extraordinarily dark, a blue that was almost black. When you'd seen that sky, you wondered that there should be any light at all.
It's very funny weather here. I wonder if we've arrived just in time for a thunderstorm or an eclipse.
I still don't like it.
The walls rose very high around the courtyard. They had many great windows in them, windows without glass through which you saw nothing but black darkness. Lower down there were great pillared arches that yawned blackly at them. It was rather cold. The buildings were in disrepair and decay. One of the arched doorways was half filled up with rubble. The 2 children kept turning around and around to look at the different sides of the courtyard. One reason was that they were afraid of somebody or something looking out of those windows at them when their backs were turned.
Do you think anyone lives here?
No, it's all in ruins. We haven't heard a sound since we came.
Let's stand still and listen for a bit.
Let's go home.
But we haven't seen anything yet. Now we're here, we simply must have a look around.
I'm sure there's nothing at all interesting here.
Polly, there's not much point in finding a magic ring that lets you into other worlds if you're afraid to look at them when you've got there.
Who's talking about being afraid?
I only thought you didn't seem very keen on exploring this place.
I'll go anywhere you go.
We can get away the moment we want to. Let's take off our green rings and put them in our right-hand pockets. All we've got to do is remember that our yellows are in our left-hand pockets. You can keep your hand as near your pockets as you like, but don't put it in, or you'll touch your yellow ring and vanish.
Right.
These doors look like they lead somewhere. Let's go inside.
If you insist.
The light's different in here somehow. It isn't so dark.
Mind the holes on the floor.
Oh, Let's carry on through those arches there.
Keep an eye on that wall. Looks like it might collapse any minute.
This place looks as if it's been deserted for hundreds of years. If that wall's lasted until now, it'll last a bit longer.
Does it never end?
Let's go up those stairs. Perhaps they lead to a view of some sort.
The children went up the great flight of steps and through vast rooms that opened out of one another till you were dizzy with the mere size of the place. Every now and then they thought they were going to get out into the open and see what sort of country lay around that enormous palace. But each time they only got into another courtyard.
Look at the size of this fountain. No water, though. Or insects. Or moss. It's all so dead.
But it must have been magnificent when people actually lived here.
Yes, but it's so dreary now. Can we go, please?
Wait! Look at those doors.
They're enormous. Are they gold?
I can't tell. Let's go in.
No sooner had they stepped into the room than they both started and drew a long breath. For here, at last, was something worth seeing. For a second they thought the room was full of people. Hundreds of people, all seated and all perfectly still. Polly and Diggory, as you may guess, stood perfectly still themselves for a good long time, looking in. But presently they decided that what they were looking at could not be real people. There was not a movement, nor the sound of a breath among them all. They were like the most wonderful waxworks you ever saw. All the figures were wearing magnificent clothes. If you were interested in clothes at all, you could hardly help going in to see them closer. There were robes of crimson and silvery grey, and deep purple and vivid green, and there were patterns and pictures of flowers and strange beasts in needlework all over them. Precious stones of astonishing size and brightness stared from their crowns and hung in chains around their necks and peeped out from all the places where anything was fastened. And the blaze of their colours made this room look not exactly cheerful, but at any rate rich and majestic after all the dust and emptiness of the others. Polly and Diggory walked in a line in front of the seated.
Why haven't these clothes all rotted away a long time ago?
Magic. Can't you feel it? I bet this whole room is just stiff with enchantments. I could feel it the moment we came in.
Any of these dresses would cost hundreds of pounds.
Look at their faces, Polly. They were nice people, I think.
They seem nice enough. Except this group.
Oh, yes. You'd have to mind your P's and Q's with them.
And look at these people.
Oh, cruel, I'd say.
Doesn't it strike you as odd? Those down there look nice. Up here they look unhappy, then cruel. And these look as if they're in despair, as if they'd done dreadful things and suffered dreadful things.
Oh, and look at her.
She's so tall.
And beautiful.
Do you think so? I don't.
She must have been the queen, or someone who was very important. You can tell just to look at her. Oh, I do wish we knew the story that's behind all this. Let's go back and look at that table sort of thing in the middle of the room.
The thing in the middle of the room was not exactly a table. It was a square pillar about 4 feet high, and on it there rose a little golden arch from which there hung a little golden bell. And beside this there lay a golden hammer to hit the bell with.
I wonder.
There seems to be something written here, on the side of the pillar.
They both looked at it hard, and as you might have expected, the letters cut in the stone were strange. But now a great wonder happened, for as they looked, although the shape of the strange letters never altered, they found that they could understand them.
Make your choice, adventurous stranger. Strike the bell and bide the danger. Or wander till it drives you mad. What would have followed if you had? No fear, We don't want any danger.
Oh, but don't you see it's no good? We can't get out of it now. We shall always be wondering what would have happened had we struck the bell. I'm not going home to be driven mad by always thinking of that.
Don't be so silly, as if anyone would. What does it matter what would have happened?
I expect anyone who's come as far as this is bound to go on wondering till it sends him dotty. That's the magic of it, you see. I can feel it beginning to work on me already.
Well, I don't. And I don't believe you do either. You're just putting it on.
That's all you know. It's because you're a girl. Girls never want to know anything but gossip and rot about people getting engaged.
You looked exactly like your uncle when you said that.
Why can't you keep to the point? What we're talking about
exactly like a man. And don't sound just like a woman or you'll be a beastly copycat.
I should never dream of calling a kid like you a woman.
Oh, I'm a kid, am I? Well, you needn't be bothered by having a kid with you any longer. I'm off. I've had enough of this place and I've had enough of you too. You beastly, stuck-up, obstinate pig. Where's my yellow ring?
None of that!
Ow, you're hurting me! Let go of my arm!
Not until we see what happens after I've rung the bell.
No, don't! There. That was a terrible, beastly thing to do. If you've bruised me, I'll... Diggory, what's happening? Watch out! Pull it!
Are you all right?
Yes, no thanks to you. I hope you're satisfied now.
Well, it's over anyway.
The children were facing one another across the pillar where the bell hung. Suddenly, they heard a soft noise from the end of the room which was still undamaged. They turned, quick as lightning, to see what it was. One of the robed figures, the furthest one of all, the woman whom Diggory thought so beautiful, was rising from its chair. When she stood up, they realized that she was even taller than they thought. And you could see at once, not only from her crown and robes, but from the flash of her eyes and the curve of her lips, that she was indeed a great queen. She looked round the room and saw the damage and saw the children. She came forward with long, swift strides.
Who has awakened me? Who has broken the spell?
I think it must have been me.
You? You? But you are only a child. A common child. Anyone can see at a glance that you have no drop of royal or noble blood in your veins. How did such as you dare to enter this house?
We've come from another world. By magic.
Is this true?
Yes, it is.
Let me look at you. You are no magician. The mark of it is not on you. You must be only the servant of a magician. It is on another's magic that you have travelled here.
It was my Uncle Andrew.
Whoa! There is great peril here. The whole palace is breaking up. If we are not out of it in a few minutes, we shall be buried under the ruin. Come.
The Queen led them from the Hall of Images into a long corridor, and then through a maze of halls and stairs and courtyards. Polly thought she was a terrible woman, and wished she could get Diggory alone long enough for them both to touch their yellow rings and get away from her. Diggory, meanwhile, thought the Queen was wonderfully brave and strong, and wished she'd tell them the story of the place. She did tell them certain things as they went along, but not what either of them wanted to hear.
That door leads to the dungeons. Oh. That passage leads to the principal torture chambers. This was the old banqueting hall where my great-grandfather bade several hundred nobles to a feast and killed them all before they had drunk their fill. They had rebellious thoughts.
They finally reached the main entrance, where they were blocked by 2 doors, made of something dead black. Either ebony or some black metal which is not found in our world. They were fastened with great bars, most of them too high to reach and too heavy to lift. The Queen said something Diggory and Polly couldn't understand, and made an action as if she were throwing something toward the doors. The doors trembled for a second, as if they were made of silk, and then crumbled away, till there was nothing left of them but a heap of dust on the threshold.
Oh my!
Has your master magician, your uncle, power like mine? That I shall know later. In the meantime, remember what you have seen. This is what happens to things and to people who stand in my way.
They were now in the open air. The wind that blew in their faces was cold, yet somehow stale. They were on a high terrace looking down on a great landscape below them. Low down and near the horizon hung a great red sun, far bigger than our sun. Diggory felt at once that it was also older than ours. A sun near the end of its life, weary of looking down upon that world. And on the earth, in every direction as far as the eye could see, there spread a vast city in which there was no living.
Look well on that which no eyes will ever see again. Such was Charn, that great city, the city of the King of Kings, the wonder of the world, perhaps of all worlds. Does your uncle rule any city as great as this, boy?
No.
Then behold! See the temples, towers, palaces, pyramids and bridges. See where our great river once flowed and is now turned to a ditch of grey dust. It is silent now, but I have stood here when the whole air was full of the noises of Charn. The trampling of feet, the creaking of wheels, the cracking of the whips, and the groaning of slaves, the thunder of chariots, and the sacrificial drums beating in the temples. I have stood here when the roar of battle went up from every street, and the river of Charn ran red. All in one moment, one woman blotted it out forever. Who? I, Jadis, the last queen, but the queen of the world. 'Tis my sister's fault. She drove me to it. At any moment I was ready to make peace, yes, and to spare her life too if she would only yield me the throne, but she would not. Her pride destroyed the whole world. Even after the war had begun, there was a solemn promise that neither side would use magic. But when she broke her promise, what could I do? Fool. She even knew that I had the secret of the deplorable word. Did she think, she was always a weakling, that I would not use it?
What was it?
That was the secret of secrets. It had long been known to the great kings of our race that there was a word which, if spoken with the proper ceremonies, would destroy all living things except the one who spoke it. I paid a terrible price to learn that word. But I did not use it until she forced me to it. Even as the blood of my armies poured out like water in the last great battle, I did not use my power. When she came, leading her rebels up the great stairs of my palace, I waited until we were so close that we could see one another's faces. "Victory," she said. "Yes," I replied, "but not yours." Then did I speak the deplorable word. A moment later, I was the only living thing beneath the sun.
But what about the people?
What people, boy?
All the ordinary people who'd never done you any harm.
Don't you understand? I was the queen. They belonged to me. What else were they there for but to do my will?
It was rather hard luck on them all the same.
I'd forgotten that you were only a common boy. How should you understand the reasons of state? You must learn, child, that what would be wrong for you or for any of the common people is not wrong in a great queen such as I. The weight of the world is on our shoulders. We must be freed from all rules.
My uncle said as much. So, what did you do then?
I had already cast strong spells on the hall where the images of my ancestors sit, and the force of those spells was that I should sleep among them, like an image myself, and need neither food nor fire, though it were 1,000 years, till one came and struck the bell and awoke me.
Was it the deplorable word that made your son like that?
Like what?
So big, so red, and so cold.
It has always been so, at least for hundreds and thousands of years. Have you a different sort of sun in your world?
Yes. It's smaller and yellower, and it gives a good deal more heat.
Ah, yours is a younger world. Excellent. Let us be going. It is cold here at the end of all ages.
Going?
Going where?
Where? To your world, of course. What else were you sent here for, if not to fetch me?
I'm sure you wouldn't like our world at all. It's not your sort of place, is it, Polly?
It's very dull, not worth seeing.
It will soon be worth seeing when I rule it.
Oh, but you can't. It's not like that. They wouldn't let you, you know.
Many great kings thought they could stand against the House of Charn, but they all fell, and their very names forgotten. Foolish boy. Do you think that I, with my beauty and magic, will not have your whole world at my feet before a year has passed? Prepare your incantations and take me there at once.
Polly,
This is perfectly frightful.
Perhaps you fear for this uncle of yours. But if he honours me duly, he shall keep his life and his throne. I'm not coming to fight against him. He must be a very great magician if he has found how to send you here. Is he king of your whole world, or only of part?
he isn't king of anywhere.
You are lying. Does not magic always go with the royal blood? Who ever heard of common people being magicians? I can see the truth whether you speak it or not. Your uncle is the great king and the great enchanter of your world. And by his art, he has seen my face, and for the love of my beauty, he sent you to me to bring me to him. Answer me, is that not how it was?
Well, not exactly.
Not exactly. Why, it's absolute rubbish from beginning to end.
Minions! I'll have the truth out of you!
That's it, Polly.
Right, the rings.
Now!
They plunged their hands into their pockets. They didn't even need to put the rings on. The moment they touched them, the whole of that dreary world vanished from their eyes. They were rushing upward, and a warm, green light was growing nearer overhead. But there was something that Uncle Andrew or Polly or Diggory didn't know about the rings. In order to jump from world to world, you don't need to be wearing or touching it by yourself. It's enough if you're touching someone who is touching it. So it was that when Diggory and Polly came out of the pool into the quietness of the wood between the worlds, things were not so quiet. Polly was crying out in distress because the Queen was holding on to her hair. Seeing the Queen now in the wood, she was much paler and weaker than she had been. She was stooped and seemed to be finding it hard to breathe. For that reason, the children were able to free themselves from her. She reeled back, panting, and there was a look of terror in her eyes.
Quick! Diggory! Change rings and into the home pool!
Right!
Lucy, take me with you. You cannot leave me in this horrible place.
Faster, Polly! She's gaining on us!
Please.
Put on the green rings! Hurry! Where's the pool? Where is it?
There! Do you see my mark?
You cannot leave me.
She's here! Jump, Polly! Jump!
Huh? Good heavens!
The Queen had caught Diggory's ear between her thumb and finger just before he disappeared into the pool.
Get off me!
Diggory had struggled and kicked, but it was no use. She seemed to recover her strength. By the time they returned to Uncle Andrew's study, she was taller, more radiant and more powerful than she'd been even in her own world. Uncle Andrew, who now looked like a shrimp, stared at the wonderful creature that Diggory had brought back from beyond the world. He stood there, bowing and rubbing his hands, his mouth gone dry, and his expression one of fear.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Where is the magician who has called me into this world?
Madam, I am most honoured, highly gratified, a most unexpected pleasure.
Where is the magician, fool?
I am, madam, and I hope to excuse any liberty that these naughty children...
You? Let me see your face.
Oh,
I see. You are a magician. Of a sort. Stand up, dog, and don't behave as if you were speaking to your equals. How do you come to know magic? You are not of royal blood, I'll swear.
well, perhaps not in the strict sense, not exactly royal, ma'am. The Kettleys are, however, a very old family from Dorsetshire.
Peace! I see what you are. You are a little peddling magician who works by rules and books. There is no real magic in your blood and heart. Your kind was made an end of in my world 1,000 years ago. But here I shall allow you to be my servant.
Oh, I should be most happy, delighted to be of any service. A pleasure, I assure you.
You talk far too much. Listen to your first task. I see we are in a large city. Procure for me at once a chariot or a flying carpet or a well-trained dragon or whatever is usual for royal and noble persons in your land. Then bring me to places where I can get clothes and jewels and slaves fit for my rank. Tomorrow I will begin the conquest of the world.
Oh, I'll go and order a cab at once.
Cab?
That's a chariot of sorts.
See to it. Do not dream of treachery. My eyes can see through walls and into the minds of men. They will be on you wherever you go. At the first sign of disobedience, I will lay such spells on you that anything you sit down on will feel like red-hot iron. And whenever you lie in a bed, there will be invisible blocks of ice at your feet. Now, go.
Yes, Mum.
What are you going to do with us?
With you? I've nothing to do with you. You served your purpose. You brought me here.
Then I must get home. It's frightfully late. I'm going to catch it from my parents.
It is inconsequential to me what you do. What is that old fool doing? I should have brought a whip. Fool! Fool! Where are you?
Oh, this is simply ghastly, having her here. We must make some sort of plan.
That's up to your uncle now. It was he who started all this messing about with magic. I have to go home.
But you will come back, won't you? Hang it all. You can't leave me alone in a scrape like this.
I shall go home by the tunnel. That'll be the quickest way.
Polly!
And if you want me to come back, hadn't you better say you're sorry?
Sorry? Well now, if that isn't just like a girl. What have I done?
Oh, nothing, of course. Only nearly twisted my wrist off in that room like a cowardly bully. Only struck the bell with a hammer like a silly idiot. Only turned back in the woods so she had time to catch hold of you before we jumped into the pool. That's all.
Oh. Well, all right. I'll say I'm sorry. And I really am sorry about twisting your wrist. There. And now please be decent and come back. I shall be in a frightful way if you don't.
I don't see what's going to happen to you. It's your uncle who's going to sit on red-hot chairs and have ice in his bed, isn't it?
Oh, it's not him I'm worried about. It's my mother. What if that creature goes into her room? It might frighten her to death.
Oh, I see. All right, then. I'll come back if I can. But I must go now.
Polly? Thank you.
This tunnel. It seemed like such a grand adventure a few hours ago, didn't it? Now I wish we'd played a game at home instead.
See you later.
If I can.
Oh, I do hope we can get this mess sorted out. And where is Uncle Andrew?
Letitia, my dear, you're here. Oh, upon my word, I'm dreadfully shaken. Most upsetting. At my time of life. Oh,
What's happened to you? Did I hear you send Matilda out for a cab?
a cab. Well, yes, actually.
And what are you wearing, Andrew?
Wearing. Oh, yes. Well, I thought a proper suit and hat were appropriate for the occasion. She's a superb creature, you know, and I'm a well-preserved fellow, if I may say so.
Superb creature? Occasion? What are you on about?
It's difficult to explain right now, but do be a good girl and lend me £5 or so. I have to go out.
I certainly won't. How many times have I
Now,
told
please
you?
don't be troublesome, my dear girl. It's most important. You'll put me in a very awkward position if you don't. There's someone important that I must entertain.
And who, pray, are you going to entertain?
Now, slave, how long am I to wait for my chariot?
Good heavens!
Well,
I sent for a cab.
Who is this young person, Andrew, may I ask?
It's a distinguished foreigner. A very important person, you see.
Rubbish. She looks like a shameless hussy. Young lady, you're to leave my house this moment or I'll send for the police.
what woman is this? Down on your knees, minion, before I blast you.
No strong language in this house, if you please, young woman.
Charnically forani an. What? What has happened to my powers?
I thought as much. The woman is drunk. Drunk!
If you please, sir, Mum, the hansom cab has come.
Then lead on, slave.
Yes, of course.
Andrew?
No time now, Letitia. Later!
I've never seen such a thing. Did you see that woman, Matilda?
Yes, Mum.
She must have escaped from a circus somewhere. And drunk as well. Andrew will come to no good, I know it.
Uncle Andrew? Uncle Andrew! Oh, hello, Aunt Letty. Is Uncle Andrew here?
I should say not. He left with that woman.
Oh, no.
What do you know of it?
Only that I think I know how to take her away from here.
Take her away?
Yes. You see, if I can touch her and then slip on my yellow ring, we shall both go into the wood between the worlds. She seems harmless enough there. Then our world will be safe. It's the only way.
Has everyone lost their minds today?
Which way did they go?
They took a cab.
Oh, I must hurry.
You'll do no such thing, young man. I haven't seen you for hours, and when I do, you speak nonsense. I won't have you rushing out into the street in this frame of mind. It's bad enough that your uncle has gone off with that creature.
But Aunt Letty...
Not another word. I want you to take a meal up to your mother. I'm sure she would like to see you, but you mustn't say anything that will upset her. Poor dear. I do wish we had something to give her that will make her well again. What have you made for her, Matilda?
What the doctor said to give her, you know. And Mrs. Finnis from next door brought her some grapes.
How thoughtful. Though I'm afraid she needs fruit from the land of youth to help her now. Nothing in this world seems to be helping. Don't dawdle, Diggory. Go on. See to your mother.
Yes, Aunt Letty. Mother?
Diggory?
I've brought you some food.
Please put it on the end table.
You're not going to eat?
Not at this moment. I'm very tired. What is happening downstairs? I thought I heard a commotion. Or was it a dream?
I suppose it is a dream, of sorts. Mother, have you ever heard of the Land of Youth?
The land of youth.
Aunt Letty said something about it.
Was she telling you a story?
No.
Oh, well, it's one of those phrases adults use sometimes, I think. I'm so tired.
Yes, but what if adults use that phrase because there really is a land of youth somewhere, but they've forgotten where? And it had fruit with special powers, and what if there were magic rings that could take you there? A yellow ring, for example, that a boy might have in his pocket, and he could touch it and go to the land of youth, and all would be well again. You would be well again. Mother? Sleep well. Hello? What's that? Fire engine? I wonder what house is on fire. It's... Great Scott! It's her!
Whoa! Whoa! Watch out for that lamppost, you foolish horse!
What's all this?
Help me! Help! I'm in here! In the cab!
Uncle Andrew?
Diggory! Oh, dear boy, pull me out of this wretched contraption. Quickly before... Oh, it's too late.
That's the woman, that's her. Do your duty. Hundreds and thousands of pounds worth she's taken out of my shop. Look at that rope of pearls around her neck. That's mine. And she's given me a black eye, too, once more.
Yes, Governor, and it's lovely a black eye as I wish to see. Yeah, I've all bit of work there.
Ain't you wrong then? You want to put a nice bit of raw beef steak on that, mister?
Now then, what's all this here?
Help me inside, Diggory.
No, you don't. You're staying right here.
Dear me, you don't understand. I'm terribly shaken. Someone could give me a small glass of brandy.
You can forget the brandy, sir, and attend me, if you please. Now, are you responsible for that young woman?
Young woman?
No, that'll be enough of that. Now come down from that horse immediately.
Oi! Stop that woman! It's my horse what she's sitting on. Same as it's my cab she's wrapped around that lamppost.
Yeah, one at a time, please.
But there ain't no time. I knows that horse better than you do. Tain't an ordinary horse. His father was a officer's charger in the cavalry, he was. And if the young woman goes on exciting him, there'll be murder done. Here, let me get at him.
Now, you heard that man, missy. Get off his horse.
That's right. You give me his lead and you climb off, nice and easy. You're a lady, you don't all these people going for you, do you? You want to go home and have a nice cup of tea and lie down quiet like, and then you'll feel ever so much better. Now you steady, Strawberry, steady, old boy, steady now.
Unhand our royal charger. We are the Empress Jardis.
Oh, an empress, are you? We'll see about that.
Three cheers for the Empress of Ponyatch!
Diggory!
Polly, I'm glad you're here.
We have to stop her. We have to take her away from here.
I have the ring. If I can get close enough to touch her...
Taunt me? Do you taunt me?
Calm down, young woman. What are you doing? Let go of that lamppost.
Did you see that?
She broke that crossbar off the lamppost like it was a dry twig.
I'll teach you to taunt me!
Diggory, she clubbed them to death. This must be stopped.
Hold on to me tight. You'll have to manage the ring. Yellow, remember? And don't put it on until I shout.
Madam, my dear young lady, compose yourself!
No, stay calm, Easy, Strawberry, now come here, easy.
Scum! You shall pay dearly for this when I have conquered your world. Not one stone of your city will be left. I will make it as Chan, as Felinda, as Solois, as Bramandin.
I've got her